According to sources, David Harbour was accused of harassment and bullying on the set by Millie Bobby Brown. David Harbour has had a rough month. West End Girl, which Lily Allen released just weeks ago and which accused him of infidelity, among other things, during their 4-year marriage, has been followed by similar accusations from Millie Bobby Brown, his co-star in Stranger Things. Since 2016, Millie Bobby Brown has played 11 in Stranger Things, where Harbour portrays her on-screen father, the police chief Hopper. According to reports, Netflix has started an internal probe as a result of the charges. David Harbour has had a terrible month. In addition to other charges, Lily Allen's amazing album, West End Girl, accused him of adultery throughout their 4-year marriage just weeks ago. Now, Millie Bobby Brown, his Stranger Things co-star, has made her own accusations. In Stranger Things, where Harbour plays the police chief Hopper, who is her on-screen father, Millie Bobby Brown has played 11 since 2016. Netflix has reportedly initiated an internal probe as a result of the charges. According to sources, Millie brought a complaint against Harbour for his conduct toward her, which led Netflix to launch an internal probe. Before the final season started filming, Millie Bobby Brown filed a complaint of bullying and harassment, according to a source who spoke to the Mail on Sunday. The allegations were made over several pages. The investigation lasted for several months. The charges, according to the source, are not believed to involve any claims of sexual misbehavior. The newspaper claimed that the outcome of the investigation is unknown and that Netflix has thus far refused to respond to any investigation. The Daily Mail claims that after the claims, Millie is believed to have had a representative with her on set during the most recent season of filming. Since the show premiered in July 2016, Millie Bobby Brown's character has been paired with David Harbour, who plays Hopper, her on-screen father in Stranger Things. The fluctuating connection between Eleven and the police chief becomes a focal point of the program. On That Scene with Dan Patrick podcast, David discussed their on-screen relationship in 2021, saying that he felt protective of Millie as they began filming together when she was a child. Millie and I have always had sort of a special relationship because I knew her when she was so young. I knew her before any of this big fame hit, he said. I have a real protective feeling for her. I have a real, worry, he continued. I worry about her and the fame and all that she has to struggle with. The news comes just weeks before the premiere of Stranger Things' 5th season. Part 1 will premiere on Netflix on November 26, 2025, followed by Part 2 on December 25, 2025, and Part 3 on December 31, 2025. How did Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour's friendship go from unbreakable to bullying? Many claims have been made recently. The connection between David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown, the stars of Stranger Things, has officially been 10 years old, and it seems that things have become complicated lately. When they were chosen to play Eleven and Jim Hopper in Netflix's Stranger Things in 2015, the two first connected. When Brown first met Harbour on set, she was only 11 years old, and the two have frequently discussed how their actual connection mirrored their on-screen relationship, which was described by Millie as raw and real, as well as being protective and emotional. However, the Daily Mail stated last week that Millie, who is now 21 years old, purportedly submitted a bullying and harassment complaint against her co-star prior to the production of the show's 5th and last season. Brown had a representative with her the entire time the video was being made, according to the news source, which said the complaint led to an investigation that lasted for months. The report has not been made public by Netflix, Harbour, or Brown. Before all this, however, Harbour and Brown had frequently described their relationship in positive light. Harbour told People magazine in 2020 that working with the young cast, which included Millie, Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, Gaten Matarazzo, and Sadie Sink, felt parental. At first, I wanted to maintain Hopper's seriousness off camera, he stated. But then you just become like a family, and my soft heart gets exposed. I knew her when she was so young, before all this fame, Harbour stated in a 2021 podcast. I have a real protective feeling for her. I worry about her, and I've always felt this deep fatherly affection. He has always been particularly careful with Millie. He continued by saying that it's extremely difficult to deal with fame at such a young age and that he only wants Millie to be an artist who brings me her Oscars when I'm in the nursing home. Over the years, Millie has expressed similar sentiments. In a 2018 interview with Variety, she stated, "Winona Ryder and David Harbour are like my parents. They are constantly telling me, 'Stop running, what are you eating?' on set." She also acknowledged that Harbour may be a little overprotective of her love life, saying, "David is like another boy?" Nevertheless, their relationship was not always harmonious. Millie once told a Paleyfest crowd that their working relationship might be angry and emotional, according to Refinery 29. "We get angry at each other, we are like father and daughter." The scenes were so authentic and raw that the reward is the scenes themselves. In a recent interview with Empire, Millie Bobby Brown stated that she and David Harbour connected on another level while filming, describing their relationship as one that developed and evolved alongside the series itself. People are now left wondering what truly transpired backstage as a result of news of a formal dispute between them. Millie was overheard discussing her wedding in an interview in 2024, prior to her marriage to Jake Bon Jovi. For MTV, the interviewer stated that Harbour may officiate the ceremony. Millie then said wearily, "I don't know how I feel," as she shifted around in her seat. David's presence at the wedding is not mentioned in any accounts. The complex on-screen and off-screen relationship between David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown. There is a shadow over Stranger Things 5, but it is not a Demogorgon. As they get ready to debut the conclusion of the billion-dollar franchise, news of Millie Bobby Brown's charges against her Stranger Things co-star David Harbour, which the Daily Mail published this weekend, has stunned fans and undoubtedly caused dismay at Netflix headquarters. Brown and Harbour have worked together on the show, which first aired in July 2016, for almost 10 years, beginning when Brown was only 12 years old. They perform on the screen. Jim Hopper, a kind but gruff former police chief who becomes Eleven's adoptive father, is joined by Eleven, a traumatized survivor of a government science experiment who has telekinetic abilities. As the series' supernatural occurrences take place, they become closer to a group of tween misfits in the little hamlet of Hawkins. Their friendship serves as the show's emotional center. Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour have given several interviews and walked several red carpets throughout the years, frequently highlighting the amusing father-daughter connection they play. Brown has now alleged bullying and harassment by Harbour in a multi-page complaint submitted to Netflix. She is 21, a recent bride, and allegedly a mother. The accusations are shocking given the couple's crucial on-screen connection, and fans have been wondering what the two have said about one another during their time together. Have there been any indications of a division over the years? In 2020, Harbour characterized his connection with Brown and her young co-stars, Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, Gaten Matarazzo, Caleb McLaughlin, and Sadie Sink, as parental. To support the children's performances in the early seasons, he told people that he used a method of reverse acting, maintaining a stern and aloof demeanor, similar to his character. "I wanted to maintain a lot of the character of Hopper off-screen for these kids because I wanted their performances to be as rich as possible. However, it became increasingly difficult to keep the facade. As the seasons go on, you just become like family, and my sort of soft heart gets exposed, and they start to be able to not really take me seriously anymore." He said that their relationship started to feel more like that of a mentor and mentee. Brown's exposure to fame has frequently worried Harbour, who has spoken out about it. On that scene with Dan Patrick, he stated, "Millie and I have always had sort of a special relationship because I knew her when she was so young. I knew her before any of this big fame hit. I feel genuinely protective about her. I have a real, worry," he went on. "I worry about her and the fame and all that she has to struggle with. And I've just always felt this kind of deep fatherly affection for her." During his acceptance speech at the Critics' Choice Awards in 2018, he repeated that worry. "I think she's in the crosshairs of something extremely dangerous that nobody seems to be paying attention to. This is an extremely difficult thing to navigate, and I hope that she gets the help that she needs. I know that I try to protect her as much as I can. Although some teenagers might have found that sort of public comment condescending, particularly his remark about her undeveloped brain, Harbour maintained that it was intended as support. When I'm in the nursing home, I want her to be an artist who can bring me her Oscars. It's not unexpected that Brown has characterized the older cast members on Stranger Things as protective and paternal, given that she started filming the show at the age of only 11. On The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon in 2016, she referred to Harbour as a big teddy bear who made her feel comfortable on set. He's funny, he's serious when he needs to be, and he's always looking out for me. In 2018, she told Variety that David Harbour and Winona Ryder are like her parents. They're like, stop running, what are you eating, why are you eating that, on set, according to her. David is very careful about her dating life, she told the media. David is like another boy, she remarked. The same year, she told Refinery29 that their relationship had changed as their personalities had developed and that they had argued on set during the filming of season 3. We went through so many different emotions, we get angry at each other, we are like father and daughter, the then 14-year-old actress said. We got angry at each other, we would express our feelings on and off the set, and those scenes were so raw and real that the reward is the scenes. In a 2025 interview with Empire magazine, she said, David Harbour, who plays Hopper, and I connected on another level, despite the fact that those remarks might indicate some tension from time to time. I constantly irritated him like a daughter or younger sister, but he always looked out for me. He was constantly rolling his eyes and making fun of me since I was always attempting to climb all over him. Throughout her adolescence, Brown has been subjected to an unprecedented degree of public scrutiny and has overcome her own disputes. After fabricated, hateful memes containing homophobic quotes that were erroneously attributed to her became viral in 2018, she deleted her X, formerly Twitter, account. She spoke about the emotional impact in a 2022 Allure interview, saying, "It's really hard to be hated on when you don't know who you are yet. Then you just start shutting down because you're like, who am I meant to be? Who do they need me to be for them?" She received criticism in 2019 for uploading a skincare regimen video for her now-defunct Florence by Mills brand, which caused a backlash because she seemed to be using the products. And in March 2025, Brown made headlines once more when she publicly criticized a Daily Mail piece titled, "Why Are Gen Zers Like Millie Bobby Brown Aging So Badly?" on TikTok, sharing it alongside other bad headlines and identifying the authors. "This isn't journalism, this is bullying," she wrote, adding, "I grew up in front of the world and for some reason people can't seem to grow with me. Instead, they act like I'm supposed to stay frozen in time." One of the reporters she identified, Lydia Hawken of the Daily Mail, later released a public apology and stated that she had resigned from her position due to death threats. David Harbour has not, as of this writing, issued a statement in response to Millie Bobby Brown's claims. The dispute comes at an unfortunate moment for the actor, who is also subject to increased public attention as a result of his ex-wife Lily Allen's divorce album, West End Girl, which has received critical acclaim and has been extensively dissected, and which describes the end of their relationship in graphic and sometimes surreal language. Among the consequences have been a woman claiming to be the Madeline that is mentioned throughout the album and a resurfaced Architectural Digest tour of Harbour and Allen's Brooklyn brownstone, which TikTok users and meme account managers have concluded to be the Pussy Palace that Allen mentions in his lyrics. In an embarrassing reappeared interview, Millie Bobby Brown makes allusions to a rift between David Harbour and Brown and Netflix over the charges and Harbour's continued participation in the Stranger Things 5 publicity campaign. In an interview last year, Millie Bobby Brown alluded to some friction between her and her Stranger Things co-star David Harbour. Brown's March 2024 MTV interview reappeared amid claims that the 21-year-old actress had charged her 51-year-old coworker with harassment and bullying on the set of her Netflix program. The damsel star talked about her upcoming nuptials to Jake Bon Jovi, which would be held 2 months later. Brown joked that the wedding should be Stranger Things themed, with the bride walking down the aisle to music from the show. Brown joined in the fun, coming up with ideas for a shaved head and a black and red color scheme, until the reporter asked, "Harbour is officiating?" Before answering with an hesitant yes, the Emmy candidate narrowed her eyes. "I don't know how I feel about that." "Sure," Brown replied with an uncomfortable chuckle. Matthew Modine was the man she ultimately suggested for the part, and the 66-year-old actor actually performed the ceremony for her and Bon Jovi in May 2024. Modine is the father figure who put Brown's 11 character through experiments on the long-running show, playing Martin Brenner. Brown is under Harbour's care as Jim Hopper. According to the Daily Mail, Brown reportedly filed a complaint against Harbour prior to filming the fifth and last season. The investigation went on for months, the outlet stated on Saturday, adding that Harbour was not charged with sexual misconduct. There were pages and pages of accusations. Brown is said to have recorded the series finale with a personal representative, but the details of Brown's charges and the conclusion of the investigation are still unknown. Between January and December 2024, the movie was shot, which was 8 months before Brown and Bon Jovi, aged 23, brought their little girl home. This year, Harbour has been in the news for his personal life, including his breakup with Lily Allen and allegations of infidelity in her scathing West End Girl album. The Hellboy actor, who wed Allen in 2020, has not yet addressed the widespread popularity of his estranged wife's words.